Hey everybody, welcome to another segment of Tony's show. I had started recording the show and I got hit, my computer got hit, so I got to do it all over again. So sorry about that, I'm going to do it again. And I started off with the show saying we're going to talk about common sense because it's not common. Well, not today. And I want to take you down memory lane. Memory lane. Okay, memory lane. You remember when 1963. Remember when the Tonkin incident came? Vietnam War broke out over an incident that never happened. Remember that? Remember H1N1? Remember that? Oh, you're going to get pig virus. Ooh, the pig virus. Remember that? And we had all this scare tactic and everybody was running around panic. Oh, we got a virus. Oh, blah, blah. Remember that? Bullshit. Another bullshit. Remember we had the SARS? Oh, the SARS. Oh, man, we're going to die. Oh, the SARS. And bullshit. Remember the weapons of mass destruction? Remember that? Iraq. Oh, we're going to Iraq. They have weapons of mass destruction. Remember that? Remember the Twin Towers coming down? There's been research on that. There weren't even any airplanes. And what the world saw was a holographic Hollywood whatever. And when the towers came down, it should have been 40 foot of rubble, and we only had 12 feet, and the dust spread out all across New York, and people died eventually of different types of silica damage from the dust. Nano silica. Remember that? Remember they're chasing Osama bin Laden? Osama. You gotta go get Osama. Remember that? And we're chasing Osama all over the world, and the Sudanese government caught Osama and everybody else, and they contacted the American government. The American government said, let him go. Osama. And we went from chasing Osama to Iraq. Remember that? Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. Remember that? And what came of that? What came of that? Destroyed country, splintered groups, depleted uranium all over the place, people driven out of their country, people who had money could get out did, those who didn't are now dying of uranium poisoning. Remember that? Remember in the 90s, every year we had a different flu? Oh, we got the Chinese flu, the Hong Kong flu, the Thailand flu, the Vietnamese flu, the Laos flu, the Filipino flu. We got the flu of all flu. We got all those Chinese, Asian things flu all at one time. Remember that? I'm trying to get a perspective here for you. I want you to see the pattern of bullshit and manipulation, and how gullibly easy it is to suck people into a fabrication, a false pandemic. Remember the SARS? Oh, SARS. Remember all these pandemics that were supposed to be the threat of mankind? We're going to wipe out, we're going to, nothing left, all the men and women are going to be dead, the end of the world. Remember when the H1 was out, they were trying to give everybody a vaccine, and the head of the CDC said the vaccine was more dangerous than the H1N1? Put a kibosh to it. And you know who had gained from all these different pandemic scares? The drug companies and the politicians. Talked about the last show, one of the shows I said that You're worth more dead than alive. And the government will get $1 million. I said 100,000, but somebody called me up and corrected me and said it was more like $1 million. $1 million for every Canadian that dies. Last year we had 294,000 Canadians that died. Figure that out. A lot of money. So when we're looking at pandemics, it's huge money for the drug companies and stockholders who have invested in these pharmaceutical companies, and the politicians that are being lubricated by these drug companies to pass legislation and laws to bring on forced vaccines, forced medications, shit we don't need, shit we never needed. And think about that for a minute now. Nothing's been cured for over 60 years. Zero. Nothing. No cures. People have been dying daily. You know, the gun laws are a joke. The reason why they want to pass gun laws is because the drug companies are losing money. Every time people get shot, then there's no, they can't make any money on that person. Can't collect a dividend. It's a real shitty way of looking at it, but it's the way it is. It really is. And when you're looking at in Canada, Canada, I'm going to jump around all over the place because I started the show and I'm thinking now maybe I should do it in certain different sequence. I'm going to be all over the place. Because in Canada now they're trying to take our rights away to making a choice. And they're going to start with the bullshit of vaccinations. BC is trying to push their bullshit. Now they're trying to get it going in Toronto. And again, who has the most to gain by passing legislation to favor vaccinations and drugs and all this other shit? That would be the drug industry. And who put these people in power? Think about that one for a minute. Who put them in power? Well, who put them in power? Basically lobbying groups, especially those from the drug industry. That's who would have put them in power. So when we're looking at some of the stuff going on, you got to go, Canadian blood for money. Sacrifice to Canadians. We'll make millions of dollars. Who gives a shit about, we'll bring in more immigrants. We'll just bring in more immigrants. Hell with it. Slaughter a couple million here, a couple million there, and we'll bring those numbers back into Canada through back doors, front doors, side doors, who knows. Canadians better wake up. We better all wake up on this. And you better start protesting these drug companies and start protesting the parliamentarians. The drug companies control the parliamentarians. Okay, let's get this straight. The bankers control the parliamentarians. Our prime minister is controlled by drug companies, bankers, and oil companies, and God knows what else. He is just a middleman, the distractor. So when things go wrong, everyone points to the prime minister. He takes the flak. Meanwhile, the corporations get off scot-free. And since there's no accurate way of testing for coronavirus, did you hear that? Zero accuracy. They don't know. They have no test for it. The test that they're giving is a general test that anybody could take to be diagnosed with any form of respiratory issues, whether it be pneumonia, whether it be was it not typhus? I can't think of them, all of them. Asthma, anything. Cystic fibrosis, any of these things. Okay, they have no test. And now they want to create a vaccine, and they have no way of testing for this virus. So what the hell are they creating in the lab that they want to inject into you? This is something you might legitimately want to consider here. And now we have children that are going to go to the school system. They don't get a vaccine. Eventually they're going to lose their right to go to school, which may not be a bad thing, really. I think the educational system is a waste of time anyway. They ain't learning nothing. They're learning how to be programmed. Here's a cell phone. Here's a computer. Here's an iPad. Oh, you want to watch games? You want to play toys? Because in these games and toys, they start programming children to follow the edict of the day. So when we're looking at this vaccination concept. And the other thing too, now for those of us who are in our, remember I said in the last show or the show before that when we get to the chance to get a kick at the can, they will come up with something to take that away from us. Well, they want to take away our pensions, all of us. They want to take away our land rights. They want to take our homes. They want to take away our savings in our banks. They've already got the game set up in the banks so they can enact something like they did with Greece. Take over the banks, take over your money. Now imagine if they decide in Canada that if you don't get a vaccination, you can't get your pension. Remember, imagine that. Imagine having an implant put inside your body so that anytime they want to, they can hit a switch and turn you off, like they did those in people in Asia. I saw that all over the internet. This is the long-term game here. Okay, if anybody doesn't think that the drug industry or the pharmaceutical industry and the political establishment are not in cahoots, give your head a shake. Give your head a hard shake. Politicians, I equate them to a whore or a prostitute. If you give them the pay, they'll let you play. That's the way it works. That's how it works. No different. None whatsoever. And this is what's being enacted throughout our country. And I'll tell you something else going on. Because we got so many half-wits out there and so many dim-wits, and they're so low on the level of evolution in their mental acuity and their mental maturity, they don't know how to think. They see something and react. Just because somebody's grown up doesn't mean they have the mental acuity to match their age. Majority of people today are grown up and have the mentality of a fourth grader. I'm not kidding. I think there was some kind of test or examination of some of the people in the labor force, and that's where they're at. They're at the level of fourth grade. Fourth grade. So whenever time the TV or the radio say something, do something, they believe it. They don't look for anything. They accept it as gospel. Oh, thus saith the radio. You need to go and give the government all your money. And they go, amen, amen. The TV says, oh, the government wants you to get vaccinated. Oh, and they go, amen, amen. The song Sound of Silence, and they bowed down to the neon god they made. Here you go. That's where these people are at. That's where these people are at. And now they have run around and they bought all the toilet paper off the Costco's. People are fighting over toilet paper. Toilet paper of all stupid. So they can now have a black market access. Let me show you a little secret about the black market access to toilet paper. How you can get around getting to do this. See, back in the old days, they didn't have what I call splinter paper. Toilet paper is nothing what I call splinter paper. And if you think about it, splinter paper, and I'll explain what I mean by that, because somebody's saying, what the hell is he talking about, splinter paper? Splinter paper can carry whatever you want to put into it. You roll it up, you put a little something or another in the toilet paper. Every time somebody wipes their ass, or wipes their backside, what happens is the toilet paper, now goes inside the rectum area where the anus is. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, your asshole, just call it just the way it is, your asshole, your bunghole, whatever you want to call it. So once the toilet paper is up there and you're rubbing your anus, or the other terms that you might be familiar with, bunghole, asshole, whatever, the paper now is rubbing, and it's a carbon-based material. And so as you're rubbing, you create little tiny splinters. As a result, you get a hemorrhoid. Now, if I wanted to really be lack of a better term, if I wanted to really be an asshole, I would put a chemical or something in there, or which they've done, phytolates and other things. But maybe I want to put a pathogen in there. So as you're rubbing your backside to clean your backside, you can now inject into your anus and get 100% injection, because anything you put in your anus, up your anus, you actually absorb 100%. So if you wanted to take a medication or whatever, vitamin or whatever, and you wanted full on absorption, you would either stick it up your nose, use a transdermal to transfer it through the skin, inject it, or shove it up your backside. That's how you do it. So this is, I'm not, it may sound funny, may sound crude, may sound weird, but this is the way it is. It's just how it is. Now, how do you get around that? Because they got these black marketeers now, and they're going to sell you the toilet paper, and they're going to sell it to you for $10 a roll. Oh, we got this Charmin or whatever the hell they got there, and Cottonelle, and oh, I got this no-name brand toilet paper. That one's $10, but the Cottonelle is $20. How would you like to be able to wipe your backside with toilet paper again? I myself don't use toilet paper. I use a washcloth. Unless I'm out somewhere in the general public, it doesn't go near my backside. I wash my backside. Now I'm going to show you some old-fashioned remedies from way back in the day, before toilet paper became the sphincter puncture, the puncture sphincter, or the splinter. Forget it. Anyway, take a washcloth, soak it in warm water, wring it out, do your duty, dump your load, take a crap, have a shit, whatever it is you want to call it, get up, wipe your backside, wipe it really good, rinse off the fecal matter or the shit on your washcloth, use a bar of soap, clean it really good, and let it hang to dry. Now, you may want to put it in bleach if you don't have bleach or anything like that, or peroxide, again, to sanitize it, and then wring it out, then, or wash it in that, and then, after you wash it with soap, let it dry, so that the next day or whenever you got to go again, it's there. Even if it's a little damp and wet, you can still use it. Have a couple, have 2 or 3. And then, like I said, put them in a bleach bucket or a peroxide bucket to sanitize and keep it clean. The other thing you can do is get yourself an old garden hose. Okay? A short little garden hose, let's say about 5-10 feet, whatever. Have it long enough so that you can screw it to your faucet. Have it so it can go down into your backside there, and put a nice run it on a low run. Put a nozzle at the other end so you can press the handle, so you can put a little force, not a lot of force. Don't blast your ass, kind of thing. Just a little bit of force, just enough so you can wash your ass. This will prevent you, first and foremost, from having a smelly backside. I don't know about you, but I do not enjoy smelling somebody else's backside, especially when you walk by and all of a sudden you can smell the fragrance. It's not something my nose. I got one of those Mediterranean noses. It can cause a lot of pain there. Ooh, okay, you need to wash. All right, so you can do that. You can clean it that way. You can use a washcloth. These are methods that you can use just in case you can't find toilet paper, because these idiots have stolen it, taken it all. Imagine if everybody says, you know what, we're not going to use toilet paper no more. Now here's the other benefit about this, okay? This is another benefit. The benefit is this. If you got a hemorrhoid, you may find that the carbon that you're loading up in your backside or up your backside will no longer be loaded. Okay? There no longer will be any kind of loading factor. So what happens now is you got a clean backside, no reloading of carbon, and what eventually happens is the hemorrhoid will shrink and go away. It can take up to 2 or 3 weeks. But I've had people tell me that, yeah, since I quit using toilet paper, I lost my hemorrhoid. See, because that is causing a high concentration of buildup of carbon inside your backside. So you're removing that. Now you women, you pee a little differently than we do. We have a hose, we pull it out, put out a fire, put it back, we're done. We give it a bit of a whatever. You guys wipe. Same thing. Get the washcloth, wipe downward. Okay? Clean it. This way you're nice and clean, you're nice and fresh. Nobody's going to know anything. And Same thing. You're not putting carbon particulates, around your urethra. This is why some of you getting urinary tract infections, because of the toilet paper you're using. And all the toilet paper has a lot of chemicals in it. You should go do some research on toilet paper. What's in it? So that information is also on my site, on tonight's show. And the other thing I want to point out to you, remember I was talking about earlier, I was talking about bullshit. Bullshit about the whole carnal, whatever. I got a video on there that's going to show you that they walked through the area in China where they had released their frequency and targeted people to cause them to drop. And you're hearing the people as they're walking down into the area, they're saying it's all bullshit. They're telling you this. They're saying it out loud. Bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's a lie. It's all a total lie. Bullshit. Just to let you know that we have over there people waking up after being, mesmerized with the nonsense of the media. If we want to stop an outbreak of any kind of pathology, turn off the radio, turn off the TV, quit listening to the horse shit. Till there's real something substantial going on, you may want to, again, turn that off. Because all it is just a manipulating game, And how many of you have a cell phone? How many carry a cell phone with you? The cell phone is the trigger. It's the gun and the trigger. If Canada gets its way and they start injecting people with vaccines, they're going to put implants in everybody. Those implants will be subjected to any kind of any kind of frequency access to the body. You can create a virus inside of a body once the building block material has already been entered into the body. And by adding a vaccine to our physiology, we'll provide those proteins that are required for construction. We'll provide the DNA provided for the construction. And because we have nanoparticles already inside of us and we've been saturated with these particulates will then embed with the proteins and then start forming whatever the program is telling them to do. This is how genetically modified seeds are being done as well. They open up the seed, they embed a nanoparticle with a program. It then gets embedded into the protein and then starts creating an assemblage in the seed to create whatever dynamic or dysfunction they want to put into that seed, so that as it grows and progresses, it produces the component that's in it. You're nothing more than a seed, a husk, loaded with protein and DNA, enzymes and other things that cooperate in a certain coordination that now it can assemble and build whatever is put into the body. When our bodies break down nutrients and different things, it starts to assemble and construct and build whatever is required or needed to sustain the body's health. And so when you put in anything good or bad, it's going to cause a chemical reaction. It's a simple little fact. And with these proteins that we're consuming, especially those vegans who are eating these vegetable proteins, which are they're inert and very low on the uptake and absorption, it's and then they have all these wonderful nanoparticulates in that loaded with carbon. They have ongoing consequences. Part of the reason why I think some of them are brain dead the way they are. Because once nanometals embed into the brain, they start forming an assemblage of circuitry inside the brain, and then can receive transmissions from any kind of frequency that it gets shot at it. Your phone is the conduit that's just closest to you. You can't put the phone down. You can't shut it off. You're always waiting for a phone call. It doesn't happen. Because the phone is talking to you, talking to your mental, or talking to your subconscious, talking to your DNA. This is the hard reality. And when you start looking more and more, like I said, I was looking at another guy today, and he made a comment, and I kind of laughed at it, so I'm going to share the comment. He's saying, the coronavirus has cured everything. It has cured everything. Everything. We no longer have abortions. We no longer have heart failure. We no longer have cancer. We no longer have autoimmune disorders. They're all gone. All that's left is the coronavirus, because that's all anybody's talking about. The media is propagating the bullshit. It's unbelievable. And if you look at the statistics, how many people die from cigarette smokes? Are we getting, are we getting injections for that? Oh, we need to inoculate you for, need to give you a vaccine for cigarette smoke because secondhand smoke kills more than firsthand smoke. Oh, we got to vaccinate you. Do you see that happening? You see the fatality of people dying in car accidents. More people die in car accidents across the planet than any other one of the highest death rates going. We're getting a vaccine for that too. Oh, we got to give you a vaccine. It may not stop you from dying, but you need one because you might get into an accident. Doesn't that sound retarded? Doesn't that sound completely stupid? Now we're going to have a vaccine for something we don't know what it is. They don't know what it is. They say they don't know what it is. And they're going to come up with a breakthrough, though. You can mark my words. A breakthrough's coming. Oh, the breakthrough. The breakthrough of breakthroughs. Oh, we got it now. We know what it is. Oh, we know the protein. And we got the DNA sequence. And now we're on our way of making a vaccine. And we're going to have one there shortly. We got something for the coronavirus. Ooh. This was just so stupid, everyone. It's really not funny. But I laugh. In my wildest dreams, I never would have thought, I could not have conceived that they would have made mankind so low on the mental scale. These people that are running around with the way they are, they have the mentality of a gnat. Mentality of a gnat. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like I said, the elite that put this together and have designed this the way they've designed it, they're going to make a fortune. They're going to make a fortune off your blood. Because you will run to get vaccinated. You will run, oh, I'm got corona, give me the shot. And you know what I see them going to do for entertainment? This is just my take on it. Understanding the nature of their sadism, they will have just enough vaccines on hand to run short, and a war will break out. People will kill each other over that shot. They will lose their mind. It's just going to be the hysteria is going to be that rampant. It's just beyond my scope. I was talking to a school teacher or someone in the public school board, been there for 10 years, and he said the same thing. He never would have thought he saw today that the de-evolution would be at this stage. I'm stunned myself. I really am. For 6 weeks I've been saying that this thing's a hoax. It's a fake pandemic, just like all the other fake pandemics, just like all the other fake wars the wars weren't fake, but the reason for the wars were fake. Everything's fake. One guy I remember was watching years ago, watching on the chemtrails, said the new F word should be fake. Fake you, fake off. What the fake? Because everything is fake. And when I showed you in the last show, the Protocols of Zion, they're saying in there that the educational school system did its job of keeping people from having the capacity to actually think critically to understand what's going on. They can throw whatever they want out there, and people will fall for it. It's that amazing. It's that amazing that they have over 200 years, and within the last 60 years, have created this dynamic where people have absolutely no mind skills whatsoever. See, I grew up in this era as well. And the last 60 years, all I have seen from everything, from any political stripe, Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, it's all the same shit. All of it. There ain't no right or left. There is no Democratic or communist. That's all nonsense. All of it. You don't have a vote. The vote is it's a rigging. They've already decided who's going to be in power. They've already decided and selected who's going to be the next prime minister, the next president. The lever basically is for your benefit, so you feel like you're having a say. It's an illusion. The whole thing's an illusion. Vaccines have never been proven to work, ever. There's absolutely no evidence out there on any level to show that they actually work. In fact, I've said this before, that this is not for the sake of the people who are new to this information. There's a video out there called Vaccination: The Hidden Truth. If you can find it on YouTube, I'd encourage you to go watch it. This was done in 1980. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. When you watch that video then and you watch and you listen to what's going on today, absolutely nothing has changed. Zero. Nada. All bullshit. All of it. And the guy that started the video there had taken his son to get vaccinated, and the son had a convulsion. And they had to get him taken back to the doctor, and they had to treat him for the convulsion. They probably put some sort of implant into the child, and the child reacted to the implant. But it went into the brain, and the brain was trying to reject it. Don't be surprised. You're already building implants in your body as it is through the nanotechnology. And don't be surprised if they keep adding any more shots to you. This is that more and more of these implants will again associate in their construct within you. Now I want to talk about something real quick. There was a couple guys on Yanni that made a complaint about me saying certain things and repeating certain things. These guys are just trolls and tramps anyway. Not trolls, sorry. They're turn-ups. Just turn-ups to just talk about nothing. And the point I'm trying to make here, and this is real simple. If all you want is entertainment from me, I suggest you get out here, do a show yourself, see if you can do a better show than I'm doing. Okay, do 3 shows a week, deal with 300 people a day, deal with newbies that keep coming in, because see, they're not coming to you. You sit at home on an armchair, drinking a beer or doing whatever. So get off your ass, do a pod, and try to reach some people and see how good you perform. See how well you do. See if you can actually reach somebody. See, I like it when people make a complaint, and I don't mind criticism at all. If it's really legitimate criticism, I can take it. One of those guys that if I see something and I see there's something legitimate to what somebody's saying, then I'll say, yeah, okay, maybe I need to do something. But a lot of you have this perspective that you're the only game in town, that these shows are just designed for you. I got news for you. I'm listened to all over the planet, literally. And I got new people coming in from all over, Baltic states, down Australia, New Zealand, across Canada, across the United States, Caribbean, Europe, even Russia, with some parts of that neck of the woods. Even Africa, South Africa. And a lot of people are being targeted, which are also reaching me. So a lot of these people don't know what's going on at all. Got hit, they found my channel, and so now when I do these shows, it makes me also consider that there are people now newly tuning in and don't have a clue what I'm talking about. So I go over some of these things, and I'll be continually going over a lot of these things, because there's a constant influx of new people coming in and trying to understand what's going on and why they're being afflicted and why they're being targeted. Now, if you don't understand that, seriously, you're a dumbass. End of story. Just a plain old dumb ass. And if that's the case, I'd say grow a brain. Maybe a couple brain cells, so at least something can spark. You better start recognizing we're in a war, and you better start recognizing that people that are coming into this fold don't know what's happening, and they need to be caught up. And they got to start somewhere. So if you do not understand that, my suggestion to you is, if you can't put up, then shut up. Make a show, do a pod, do a YouTube, do a daily motion, whatever. There's lots of mediums out there, and show us what you got. If you ain't going to do that, then shut up, have your beer, and go back to sleep. That's simple. Because like I said, there are a lot of people coming in, and sometimes I refresh people with some of the information, because with all this hysteria going on right now, people are forgetting how to even tie their shoe with Velcro. And they have thrown everything that they've heard out the door through this sensationalized pandemic, this false pandemic that's being propagated. So sometimes you have to repeat certain things just to get them back on track. And so I'm not going to belabor this any longer, because again, this is what it is. So, and I have no bones on telling you that. Anybody. If you got a legitimate criticism, I'll listen to it. I will. But if you're just saying something just so that you get attention on somebody's YouTube channel, grow up. Or suck on a pacifier or something. Just grow up, on this. And for the rest of you, there on my sheet, there you will see, or not in the sheet, on the links below in the show, you'll see several different links there. You'll see links from Brian396. You'll see links from Yanni or Aramac. You'll see my links there as well. I would encourage you all to go and look at those links, study them, read them, so that you're not completely mesmerized by the false pandemics that they're going to put out there. There's going to be a lot more coming. A lot more false pandemics coming. And you're going to start, and as you mature, grow and develop in your understanding of nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, nanobiology, synthetic biology, artificial life, vaccines and the components they have in the nanoscale, you're going to begin to understand more and more and more the nature of the violation that's being done to you and has been done to you for over 60 years or longer. So once you understand that, then you're more forewarned and forearmed to be able to defend yourself. Building different devices that I've shown, using certain techniques that I've shown as well, using techniques that Brian396 may have shown as well on his site. As far as I know, these methods actually work. We have different methods because we approach this from two different sources, but try whichever works. That's simple. Read the information, study it, learn it. Don't allow yourself the luxury of deception. Don't allow yourself the luxury of being caught up in the mob rule or the mob emotion, because that's how these people are moving. They're not moving with rational thinking. They are not moving with logical thinking. They're not even moving with analytical thinking to think what's going on. Put it together piece by piece. Look at the information, not the general television sets. I had a guy call me from the U.S. the other day, and all he wanted to talk about was stuff he was listening to on the media. And when I'm listening to him, I'm thinking, all I could think of, are you crazy? The media is another forum that lies. And if the media is talking about certain things, you might want to think in terms of 180, the opposite. So if they're crying pandemic, do a 180. No pandemic. Kind of simple, simplistic terms. Remember, the government doesn't care about you. You're just a dollar sign. That's all you are. Dollar sign. The corporations don't care about you. Again, all you are is a dollar sign. And they're replacing you by the day with machinery. New AI bots are taking over more and more jobs. I actually put a posting on there today about how they tested an airplane with an AI system. So the airplane took off on its own. They had a pilot in there, but the airplane did it all by itself. Imagine that. Pretty soon we won't be flying anywhere. Oh, a robot's flying. Yeah, I'll pass. I'll pass. It's going to get to a point maybe trains will make a return. That'd be cool. Anyway, I'm pointing these things out so for your benefit. So don't listen to idiot, what do they call them? Turn-ups. People who turn up when you're telling the truth, or they turn up because they need attention. They need to be pacified, or they need to be oh yeah, Don't listen to the media at all. Most of the time the media just lies. If you're going to listen to the media just to gauge what's going on, so you can understand that the media is saying left, you want to look at the right. Don't listen to your politicians either. They're a joke. They are the mouthpiece of the corporations. They've always been the mouthpiece of the corporations, and they always will be. Because if something goes wrong, you're going to blame the prime minister. You're going to blame the president. You're going to blame the congressman. You're going to blame a parliamentarian. Okay? Deal with the corporations. Deal with the companies that are putting out these products. Deal with the companies that have got huge investments in stock market stocks for a vaccine. As soon as they come up, and they're going to come up with one that's going to be half-assed. It's not going to do anything because it'll make you sicker. It might even give you the coronavirus. Who knows? Let's put an implant in this guy. We'll type in corona. Now think of this real quick before I call it a day. Corona means crown. Corona means crown. What if, just for, kicks and giggles, what if they targeted the pineal gland with a terahertz frequency? After all, that is your crown. Or the hypothalamus or the pituitary. What if they hit you with one of those frequencies in that area? What would that do? Think about that. I'm going to give you some homework to look up. Type in terahertz frequencies accessing hypothalamus, accessing pineal, accessing the pituitary. What would that do? There is a mouse study, a rat study, where they actually fired that into the brain of a rat, terahertz. And the terahertz devices are the perfect killing machine. You wouldn't even know you got hit till you're dead. Doesn't leave a mark. In fact, it will seal the hole as it comes out. Imagine that. Perfect killing machine. Hit you in the head, hit you in the crown. Ho ho ho. Zing. Off. Drop. And that's exactly what happened. You saw a disconnection between the brain and the body when these people dropped. Imagine that's what this is really all about. Targeting people in the crown area with a digitized frequency, a terahertz frequency. Microwave won't do it. This is really, really, really super intense, and you'd have to be really, really close even if that was the case. But terahertz can be done any distance. Imagine that. All right, before I go on, as I stated earlier on my website, or on the links tonight, when you look at the links, look at the, you got Brian 396, look at his data and research on nanobiotech, look at Aaron Mack on his YouTube channel and his interviews, look at Brian's photo gallery. He's taken a lot of pictures as well. You can look at my stuff as well. You got Augmented Force. You got the BitChute channel where I'm showing you how to make your tech stuff to protect you from tech. You got bids and alternatives on the YouTube channel. So we got all this data there. Feel free to go there, check it out, download whatever, share the information with everybody. You know people that are targeted, send them to the BitChute site. It'll help them a great deal. Like I said, look at and on the same page, look at I call it wash your ass, ways to avoid the toilet paper shortage. And so there's two methods I put there for you. So again, if you've never thought about this will help you again, so you're not feeling, oh, what am I going to do? I got no toilet paper, You're going to do what you used to do in the old days. You're going to wash your ass. That's simple. Keep it clean. Alrighty. I think I got it all. Alright, to the next segment. To your health, eh? See you then.